was right, that partner will be you.
I would love to be considered for the position, so would I.
Some will do whatever it takes to be on top.
Help me destroy Andy Bourne.
Zach will have no choice but to come up off of that child support check. Demand Karen does another DNA test. Make the best woman win. Is everything okay?
No, it's far from it.
Tyler Perry's.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Sheila Mila coming to you with the breakdown trailer of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 7, Episode 4, Death Becomes Them. The synopsis of the trailer states that Andy and Sabrina find themselves having to compete with workplace rivals, while Andy betrays Karen in favor of Zach and Fatima. Now, the show is Tyler Perry's Sistas, air date January 24. It says directors with an S, Tyler Perry and somebody named Burke. Okay. And then it says writer Tyler Perry, but I thought we were getting new writers season 7. So why we don't have a writer Tyler Perry, comma, Henry or somebody? I don't know. But anyway, so I am going to loop the trailer like I always do, and I'm just going to talk over it while you can kind of just see in the background. And this is Sheila Bila. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this trailer breakdown. All right. Well, synopsis. Well, predictions. Well, whatever it is, we're just going to talk about it. All right. So I'm going to start out with Danny. That's what I'm going to start out with. So because in the synopsis, it says that Danny betrays Karen in favor of Zach and Fatima. So I'm thinking, why is Danny putting herself in Karen's, Zach, and Fatima's business? Like, why is that an issue of Danny? So the only thing that I can think of is Zach probably came to Danny for advice. Now, if Zach came to Danny for advice in regards to Karen and how he should ask for a DNA test, then I can see. So it's not necessarily a betrayal. It's more of, what can I do to move this forward? But if Danny inserted herself in something that doesn't have anything to do with her, then that is betrayal. Because what does this have to do with you? Danny, what does this have to do with you? Like, don't you supposed to be in therapy right now? Ain't you supposed to actually go over to your man's house and spend the night instead of every scene he's in your house? When are you gonna find out that this man got kids? Maybe that's why he ain't brought you to his house, because he ain't showed you them kids yet. But anyway, so if Danny does that, that's not cool, because yeah, that's none of your business. You ain't carrying a baby. And if Karen is your friend, you should just roll with what she say. If she says that Zach is the father of her baby, just roll with it or whatever until she tells you something different. Because I'm ride or die for my friend. It could be in the back of my mind that, child, you know that ain't Jake baby. But I tell her that, but I'm not going to tell nobody else, because that's my friend. Like, well, she'll tell y'all when she ready to tell y'all. And whatever she told y'all is what she told y'all. That's between, whatever. That's it. Because that's how I do my friends or whatever. In they face, when it's one-on-one, I'm going to correct my friend. I'll be like, are you sure, friend? But to everybody else, child, it's whatever my friends say. Period. But anyway, so that's the only thing I can think of. If Zach comes to Danny and asks for advice, then it's different. And even then, she should be like, well, you know what? I ain't really got nothing to do with it. Y'all just try to work it out on your own. Because at one point, Zach and Danny were friends, but not to the capacity of friendship that Karen and Danny had. So who owes you loyalty the most? Who do you owe your loyalty the most? And that's Karen. Like you said, that's like your sister. That's like your sister, and then your sister baby, your boyfriend that, and people, for some reason, people do have the tendency to forget that when Karen and Zach did date, Zach did dog Karen out. Come on, let's be honest. Now, this is before he started to try to do right and he just wasn't doing right. And sometimes when you've been in a traumatic relationship with a person for however many years, and then when they finally start trying, and they still be like, ugh, it's kind of hard to get over that hump because of everything you've been through in the past, right? So in that regard, I'm going to give Karen the benefit of the doubt. But I think when it went overboard was when she started throwing a man granddaddy ashes out. Like, that old crazy stuff was stupid. Like, that's when we started to really not like Karen, because we're like, Karen, you doing too much. I mean, at one part I was with you, you know what I'm saying? But let's not forget that Zach he did hurt Karen too. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget that or whatever. But then Karen did start acting stupid. But the reason being is because Zach was acting stupid first, So that's how that's why I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. But she was doing the most. And then, like somebody else said in the comments, like, she shouldn't really be mad at Fatima, which she should not, because her and Fatima actually developed, I'm not going to say a friendship, but they developed the type of relationship to where Fatima actually did the girl hair. And Karen was talking about her new man, and which was Aaron, and Fatima was talking about her new man, which was your baby daddy. But then when Karen found out, like, so you was with, and I'm doing your hair, but child, you can't get mad at Fatima because Fatima don't know nothing about y'all. And then it made me feel stupid because I'm like, Fatima, why are you apologizing to this girl? Why are you apologizing to this girl when you didn't even know? Like, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, you just like us, we coming in at the last minute. But anyway, I don't went all the way back, but I just did want to throw that in there. Because a lot of people say Karen this, the Karen that, but let's not forget that Zach did do Karen dirty. And I think they said he gave her like STDs or something. So yeah, Zach did do Karen dirty, so he did do that, but he never had the opportunity to treat her right. And that's the reason. And I think that's why Karen is so upset, because she's like, I wasted a lot of times and I never got that I'm gonna do right. You gonna do right. And he actually does right. But anyway, back to Tyler Perry Sistas season 7, episode 4. Yeah, Danny, if Zach came to you, then I can probably give you a little bit of grace. But if you done called and picked up the phone and said, meet me down here at the airport, I got to talk to you about Karen and how you need to get a DNA test because I don't think that's your baby, you need to get punched in the neck by your friend Karen, because that's wrong, Danny. Don't do that. All right, so enough of that. I am going to go to Andy. Now, Andy looks like she is working this episode because she has to think with Penelope. And you know what I would tell Penelope? Because the thing about Penelope is the only time when she's really cool with Andy is when she needs to get some information from Andy. That's what I gather. Because any other time, she ain't calling Andy like that. Because mind you, when the first situation happened with Gary, Andy, and Penelope, when they all figured out who was who, when they all figured out who was who, that's when Penelope was hitting Andy line, trying to go by way of the brother. Can I set up a meeting? Because she wanted to get what she wanted to get. Jordan, can you talk to Andy and tell her? But then when she got what she wanted and she made the decision based off of what she received, she didn't talk to Andy for them 3 months because, mind you, the first episode, they ain't seen each other. So it's like, okay, so now you got what you wanted. You don't want to talk to me no more. Now it's like it's replaying again. So you ain't been talking to Andy, but now all of a sudden it's like, Andy, I need you. If I was Andy, I'd be like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't you data analyst? You like numbers and statistics and accuracies, child. Do your job. Do whatever you need to do. I wouldn't even talk to Andy. I wouldn't even talk to Penelope because that ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You chose to be with him and he chose to do identity theft on you. So that's what you get. So Andy, let that girl go. Stop answering the phone for her. Don't team up with her. You done your job. You done told her everything that she needed to know. And now everything is on her. Now back over here at the office, you need to be trying to be partners. So at first I thought she was partner. Remember when she got that $2.5 million? I thought she was a partner then because they gave her a promotion. But maybe it wasn't a partner. But I thought she was. But since that dude seemed like he done went to the upper room, since he done went to the upper room or the lower room, whichever one. I don't know that man. Now there is a position open to make partner. Maybe he was the one that was on that stretcher with them shoes up because he was dressed up in his little business church clothes. I mean, he was, so maybe those was his shoes. So I'm thinking this man that went on to the upper or lower room and now there is a position open. So who is going to be the next partner? Now Hayden is trying to team up with Andy to get, Hayden is trying to team up with Gary to get Andy out of the picture. So now he can get the position. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen in this episode. Because at first I'm like, Hayden, you was barely answering that phone for Gary. But now, since you know that there's an opportunity open for you to likely become the next partner, now you want to throw Andy under the bus or do whatever you want to do with Andy. Hayden, you ain't right. But you know what? Now that I thought about it, now Penelope calling Andy to tell her something like that, then girl, you need to listen. You need to listen to her if she calling you to tell you something about you. But if it's something about whatever that ain't got nothing to do with you, yeah, whatever. So yeah. Yeah, I think I'm done with all that. I think the last person on my list, because I done talked about Danny. They talking about she gonna betray Karen. Andy. Talked about Andy, about Penelope, and about the new position. Now it is Sabrina. Okay, let's talk about Sabrina. So I think hers is pretty much straightforward. She's in competition for the job that she used to have. She's really trying to get her old job back. And then that little white lady, she just getting on her nerves. At first, I thought that little white lady was her supervisor. But I guess not. It looked like they on the same level. So why is this woman like, you can't do this in the office? You gotta, come on now. You ain't. And in the way that Sabrina was listening to her made me feel as if that was her supervisor. Well, you know what? Well, maybe. But manager. Well, whatever it is, it's going to be some type of promotion on the job, and both of them are going to be trying to go at it and get it. Because naturally, I would think that if the white lady was the senior, was the manager or something, then it would naturally flow to her. That position, whatever it is, will flow to her. But if they on the same level, then they're trying to get the same position, which may be the branch manager. Because at this point, didn't it say that Sabrina was the assistant manager? Sabrina is the assistant manager and not the manager. But you can't have two assistant managers. Well, maybe you can't. You know what? I don't work in no bank. So I don't know what they got going on over there. At the end of the day, they over there trying to hustle and do whatever for the same position. Yeah, so batter up. Whoever does it best, get the position. And last but not least, we have Karen. And so for some reason, Pam was talking to Karen saying, well, that's your baby daddy. He should be paying you child support and stuff like that. He should be paying you child support. Like, so the DNA test is really, really going to have to go up for Karen. And it can't be no one-sided DNA test. It's going to have to be a DNA test with all parties being there. But I'm like, I'm looking at the fact that Karen does need help because it looks like Karen has been trying to do everything on her own, get the building on her own, pay the mortgage on her own. Oh, and somebody did say, well, how is Karen owning a building that she has a landlord? But contrary to a lot of people's belief, a lot of people do buy out directly from the owner. I remember my mom, she owned a daycare and she bought the building directly from the person. So she will actually give the mortgage money to the actual owner of the building. I mean, even though you're quote unquote the owner of the building, until you pay it off, you ain't the owner. It's just the same way if you were going to a bank, because I'm a homeowner, but at the end of the day, I got about 10 more years left on my house. And if I miss a mortgage payment, guess what? Or miss 3 or 4 back to back, they'll work with you a little bit more when you're in the stage of home ownership. But child, they can take your house from you the same way, because you can quote unquote say you own it, but if you missing payments, they gonna take your property. I mean, that's with anything, unless unless you're just renting, period, or leasing, but like it's almost like she's leasing to own, maybe. That's what it seems like to me, because pretty much everybody that's owning something, you still have to pay. Unless you're paying out with cash, you technically don't own it. Unless you're paying out with straight cash. So it looks like Karen is in a situation to where she's leasing to own it. So she's the owner, but no, she's technically not, because it's not bought outright. So that makes sense. And I know a lot of people that do that. They talk directly to the person. They, get a contract, and, they'll do all the legalities of it, but it also cuts. It actually is. If you have a good landlord or a good person that's selling you something, it actually cuts out on the interest rates and all that stuff, because you can make up your own interest. You don't have to go according to what the bank and the fees and all that stuff. It really cuts out a lot of fees and interest. So yeah, you'll actually get the building for what you pretty much paid for it, instead of you buying a house that's $150,000, and then at the end of your 30-year mortgage, you end up paying double the amount. $300,000 for a $150,000 house because of interest and fees. And then they go up because millage tax. You know what? That's a little bit too much. I'm going to leave it alone. But yeah. So I don't know what. I think Karen is going to try to get child support from Zach, which she should, if capital F, capital I, capital F, if that's her baby daddy, then you can get child support. But other than that, Karen, they say Aaron coming back, so you might be having to hit up Aaron for your child support. So yeah, but I think that's it for my synopsis, my breakdown. I believe Karen is going to try to get child support from Zach. Danni is inserting herself in something that ain't got nothing to do with her, but if it came to her, then it's different. Penelope is either going to warn Andy about something she overheard Zach talking to Hayden about on the phone, and she heard her name come up, and she probably gonna warn her like, hey, they over here trying to do this against you. That's cool. But if she calling you about something else, they got no child, quit picking up that phone. And yeah, Andy is trying to get partners as well, and Sabrina is trying to get her old job back. That's what I see. Yeah, this is Sheila Bila, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in these comments about this whole Tyler Perry Sistas season 7 episode 4 episode. And y'all know I talk back. So holla at me. Bye.